Hello. Hello,
Hello.
my sweet Jazz. Even though we're kind of opposite today, but I love that for
I
us.
know. Hello, my spicy jazz.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited being with you again and just being part of this podcast. Um, I'm really excited about it actually. We have a lot of good things we want to discuss, I know. But just for the individuals who don't know, let's introduce ourselves with the sweet Jazz right quick.
Hello, I'm Jasmine LaFleur, and the second half of Nymphs of Lord podcast. I often bring the softer, more subtle touches to the conversation. But hey, I'm just as spicy in some, it just depends on my mood and what we're talking about.
Of
But
course.
I love books. I work with books in the daytime and read spicy books by night. And so, yeah, I enjoy what we do here a lot. It never feels
Good.
like work. It's definitely play for me.
Oh, definitely. I think that's one of the reasons why we stuck with this so long. So far, it's almost been a year. Is we don't have to. It doesn't feel like a job. We're just enjoying ourselves. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always Gucci. So give me one second. I'm actually trying to share this with everybody to make sure that they know we're here.
Yes.
So, because we are using a new system right now, guys, and I'll introduce myself in a minute. We're using EVMux, which is a alternative to StreamYards. So I'm still getting kind of used to it. So bear with me. There's going to be some glitches. There are going to be some crazy things. Bear with me. If you feel like I need to do something better, you could also let me know and I could fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jazzy ain't always going to pick up on it. So with that being said, let's see here. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. La-da-dee-da-da-da-da-da. Perfect. Sorry, I just sent it. So,
Okay.
my name is Jazz, and I'm the spicy one. I'm the one that goes a little more hardcore, who loves love, but sometimes we just got a bone. Sometimes maybe I just want to walk in the park with a dragon king or queen and be chill about it. Like, I don't need a commitment. I just wanted to, see what you do. That's it. And I'm okay with that. I made my peace. But one thing I could say being a part of this, our duo here, is that Sweet Jazz is really getting me into the softer side. I'm like, do I? And she's like, yeah, it's nice. And I'm like, all right. I can't argue with that.
But
So we love that.
you're getting me into like the harder side of things.
Because the harder side, like to me, carnal, I love primal, I love that stuff. I love territorial, but not in the toxic shit. I hate that's one thing I don't like is toxic. Okay, let me correct myself. A little bit of toxic is
A
okay
little
depending
bit.
on the scenario. Like I like a little bit of possessiveness, but not like I'm gonna jump off of a bridge if you don't give me what I want. And I'm like, you should just do it.
Yes.
There's other fairy princes in the world. Like I could just find another one. If you like me, another one will. So, but
That.
of course, again, besides that, this podcast, which I love so much, we are also, I'm also a part of a few others. I'm part of course, Nymphs of Lore on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Every other Friday is a live show, but showing every Friday. On Saturdays, I have my other show at 8:30 p.m., which is going to be We're Just Roommates, which is a real talk relationship type of show where we talk about relationships and the fact that me and my roommate are actually exes and how that affects our relationships. Because men usually don't care, but women do, which I respect that. But as a woman, I'm like, bro, you got nothing to worry about me. Call me. We be besties. Trust me. I fight for you. Don't worry about it.
I need
Um,
to definitely tap in because
oh
I'm in the
yeah.
same situation.
Yeah.
Me and my roommate are exes, and so yeah,
Let's do it.
I need to
It's
hear
you
about
need to
it.
tap in. You need to join us because it's crazy. But Sexually Speaking is on Sundays every Sunday at 8:30 as well, where we talk about kinky conversation and lifestyle breakdowns. Uh we always on and popping on that show. I can't even it's too spicy for me to even say some certain things. But I'm very blessed to be with my lovely co-host there as well. Um, and I'm also like a producer or like the background person for Oso Talks, which is a variety, nerdy, geeky type show. We talk about everything from food, culture of being Puerto Ricans from the island, as well as me being Americanized, I guess you could say. Well, not Americanized, we're all British,
Mm.
whatever. And just geeky stuff. Like we argue about Star Trek, all that. If you're into that, let us know. Hit us up. But with that being said, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back, girl. I'm so blessed. I've been thinking about this book. And if you guys don't know, the book we're going to be discussing for the next few months, uh, not to take over, if you want to talk about it or do you want me to talk about it? Like what
Okay.
our goal is with this, what our new show is about.
Yes. So, yes, happy 2025 for those who are joining us
2025.
in the new year. We missed you. We hope you had a happy holiday
Mhm.
season. And if it's okay, is it okay if I can tell them about a few of the books we read last year?
Oh, yeah, of course. Please let them know what we're
Yeah.
about. That's what this is about. Just cozy, catching up with the fam. We're reunion
Yes.
today. We're reunion.
We're a reunion. We are returning to
Hmm.
some and introducing ourselves to others. But we
Hmm.
read spicy books, books
Hmm.
for adults, specifically fantasy, and we have a wide variety. We try to look at different tropes, different kind of
Hmm.
OCs. We
Hmm.
keep it very diverse and very spicy. And our first book we did was a fractured fairy tale, like a retelling of Peter Pan. We read the what is this series called? Like, do they call it the Lost Boys series or?
I think it is the Lost Boys because it's
Yes.
not Neverland or anything. So
No.
hello, hello.
No. So we started with do. The title is like slipping my mind.
What the Night King? No, no, no.
The Never
The Never
King.
King.
Yes,
Never
Never
King.
King by Saint Clair. Correct? Nikki St. Clair.
Nikki St. Clair. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so we started with that. We moved on from
Mm-hmm.
that spicy era to
Mm-hmm.
that time I got drunk and saved a demon. And that
Mm-hmm.
was by Kimberly Lemming. So it's a little
Mm-hmm.
cozier vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had our vampire month where we read Queen Takes Night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was by
What's her name?
uh, Burkhart, I think.
Let me see. Yeah, Julie Sobercart. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Burkhart, which was really spicy in comparison to our
First
demon
of all,
ones.
I'm just
So
gonna interject real quick. I'm so
yeah,
sorry. For you guys don't know, let me give you a quick sell point on all these books. The first book, if you love Neverland, Peter Pan, everybody's aged up and sexy, a little bit of drama, a little bit of mess, get into that. We love that. And it's a reverse harem. The second book, I wouldn't say it was reverse harem, but it's enemies to lovers. Am I getting it correct? The what book is that? That time I got drunk
hmm
and saved a demon. And the vampire book, which we really like. If you're into different types of lovers, I would say go into that. The ending really shook me. There's a lot of supernatural. Uh, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't like that book as much as I like the others, but I like the idea. I feel like it wasn't executed properly for me, but I would definitely read just to see where, she's like, I hear gallops. I'm like, who is this? Who's
yes.
galloping, baby? So go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, so cameraman, he asked, he said, are you reading the book? Sometimes it's hard for others to read. Actually, we're doing like readings as a community,
Hmm.
and we'll let you know like what chapters we'll be reviewing. So even if you have a different like reading speed, you have different abilities as far as your literacy and everything like that, you can still be part of the conversation because we're going to give you a breakdown of every chapter. So we're going to read it on our own time. We'll come back. We'll give you like a review. Oh, like reading your name. Okay, yeah. Sorry. I didn't know if you meant like, are we going to be reading like word for word, which some places do get to read. But no, we won't be reading like entire chapters, but we might read some quotes and things like that just for reference. But thank you for telling us how to say your name. Yeah. You said, let's see. My name is said Cameraman OG, right? Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. Cool. And we hope you'll read the book with us. So, the book that we are going to be featuring, yes, go ahead. You're muted, I think. Oh, there you go.
That works. That works. I have two buttons for it, so I apologize.
That's okay.
Um, just to jump in, thank you for bringing that up, though, Jazz, because guys, our if you were attending our show before, we kind of try to break down the book as best as possible in one sitting, but we're cozy people ourselves and we understand not everybody's going to have time to do all
Yes.
that. So guess what? This is at your own pace. You can jump in. Maybe you're ahead of us, maybe you're behind us, maybe you just want to have a conversation. That's what this is for. This is going to be like cozy. This is going to be like on your own term, not just our speed, because Jazz will probably Sweet Jazz will be, quicker than me, and then I'm slower, or vice versa. So that's what our goal is now, right? We're here to build that community for each other. We're going to read the book, have conversations about it, not just through our lives, but we're also going to be having it through our Facebook page. We're also going to be having it through comments. We want to kind of get a better understanding of the book because maybe there's something that I interpreted that you didn't interpret, or vice versa. We'd love to hear that. Also, side note, I just got abrupted to, I believe on the 20th of January, they're starting the audiobook for this book. I said the same thing today. I was like, thank God. Because one of the hardest issues I've been having with this book is it's really dense. It's great. I get what they're doing. The pacing is okay, at least for right now, but it's so thick in my brain that I cannot process it.
And
The
I think
dyslexia, whatever. I don't
I
know
think
what it
part of
is.
it is like you're getting multiple perspectives
Exactly.
and you're getting like I love that there's also a little bilingualism in it. So sometimes
Yes.
you might be reading a phrase or a
Mhm.
conversation in Spanish. Well, not a full
Mhm.
conversation, but like little
Yeah.
notes. And I think that too takes a second to
Mhm.
pick up because your brain just wants to fly through and
Mhm.
maybe not be multilingual at the time. I know for
Mhm.
me, like I grew up in a very multicultural background
Mhm.
where English and Spanish was spoken daily. You can go to
Mhm.
McDonald's and they only speak to you in Spanish, and you have to answer in whatever language gets it across. So I'm
Mhm.
very used to that. However, I've been away from home for a while. And so as I'm reading, my brain goes, oh, that's familiar. That sounds like home.
Mhm.
And then it tries to switch over, but not
Mhm.
quite. So I think that's been kind of slowing my pacing down.
Mhm.
But with the audiobook, this is why librarians will tell you audiobooks count as literacy and reading.
Mhm.
So don't feel ashamed if you want to just do an audiobook. But there's so many things going on cognitively that like you're
Mhm.
still getting that language part. But anyway, outside
No,
of
I
that nerdy
agree.
part.
No, it's a science to it too. And mind you, we don't want to press upon or encourage books that are going to make people feel discouraged, right? That's not what this is about. Like, challenge yourself, yeah. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, being a young girl, I didn't read. I couldn't read for a long time. And I think I told you the story before. The reason why I know how to read is romance novels.
Yeah.
So I push for that. I'm like, look, I'm not encouraging for everybody. I'm just saying it spices up things. You're like, you know what? That's how a person should treat me. That's how I want to, you get your princess attitude at a young age. And I love that to evolve and to understand and to inspire, right? Without judgment, right? You don't feel bad.
Also, spicy audiobooks are on another level.
Yo, I
Because
think,
you can read it, but you don't hear like the
oh, yeah.
passion. You don't hear, like in this book, we're reading My Summer Girl, by the
Hmm.
way. That's the one that we're currently going to be
Hmm.
reviewing. We haven't started yet with you guys yet, but next week, well, next time we air, we'll
Hmm.
start. next time we go live, we'll start reading
Mhm.
and dissecting the chapters of My Summer Girl.
Mhm.
And I'm excited for the audiobook because I want to hear like the accents. I want to hear
Oh
like
yeah.
just the different tones and language and the way it colors the scene. So, and for me, that's a real treat because in fantasy, it's so like European a lot of the
Mhm.
times that you don't get that extra flavor, extra sauce on it. So I'm really excited about this book
Me too.
because yes, having brown people in fantasy is everything.
First of all,
And yes, we got a little of that when we read my that time I got drunk and rescued a demon. So I'm
so
really
relatable.
so
So
relatable.
relatable. I loved it so much.
Yes. So I'm very
Chef's kiss.
excited about My
Mhm.
Summer Girl because you do get a different vantage point and perspective.
Mhm.
So read it with me. You'll enjoy it. I know you will.
Exactly. And also too, just to make sure for new viewers who have not yet to fully attend the show or see anything or know anything about us, one of the reasons why we also started this show is in regards to BIPOC visibility and representation. We want to make sure that we are also building a space or help letting people know, like, yeah, we read these type of books too. We want to know. I know, like, at least through TikTok, RIP soon, I guess, like book talk taught me a lot of books that I didn't even think about. But the fact that I've seen POC, Black and Brown women, individuals in general saying, "Hey, you need to read this book. This has a strong Black character, and it's not this type of way, like very, you know what I mean? We know what we're
Hmm.
talking about. I don't want to. I don't want to have no hate bait type crap. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want those struggle romances all the time. I want the strong character like we had in what was it? Queen Takes Nights.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially when that fucker was like, "You gonna do?" She's like, "You forget I'm the queen, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, cut that
Hmm.
man, tell him off."
Yes.
And it's just like this is what the community we're also trying to make sure that we connect with.
Hmm. That time I got reincarnated as a vending machine.
I
Oh,
think
that
that's an
sounds
anime too,
adorable.
isn't it? I think it's an anime.
It sounds like an anime. They have such long
I have to look into it.
isekai
Titles.
titles, yeah.
My roommate is really into like all those types. He's like, yeah, this guy he died and he ran into a vending machine. Now he only serves pudding or something. I was like, what is this? What? Go off. I'm not yucking nobody's yum. Have fun. But as far as
Mhm.
these books, that's what we're also trying to do. Mind you, these books sometimes are going to be graphic, but we'll always let you guys know ahead of time.
Yeah,
There's going to be trigger warnings. Again, we will let you know. If we miss anything, feel free to let us know so we can also make sure we're on top of that. Because things, I might not find something as triggering and it could be something like gray sweatshirt. I don't know. Some things trigger people and we are respectful.
yeah.
Um, let's see. But yeah, I'm really excited. And I feel like I can't wait till this audiobook comes out.
I
I can't
know.
wait. I'm so excited. So fucking excited. I think that's when our
Mhm.
next show is too, actually. Maybe we could play a
Yes,
clip.
Savannah.
Probably play a clip. I'll read the first chapter.
Are there any pictures? No, this one isn't a picture book, but or it's not a graphic novel.
Hmm.
Um, but there is some really great art.
Yeah.
From if you go on the author's page, which the author of My Summer Girl
Yeah.
is, oh my goodness,
Naive Black.
yes, Maeve Black.
Naive Black. I've been saying Maeve. I don't know
Oh,
why. My sister's name Eve and Ma, so Maeve.
oh yeah, yeah.
So my bad.
Maeve Black, if you follow their social media pages,
Hmm.
you'll see some of the art and it's beautiful. Also, it
Yeah.
has great cover. I don't know if we could
Cover
show the
artist.
cover.
We actually, let's see. I don't have that right now, but I'm gonna switch off and I'll show you. So that was the cover
Yes.
right there. I think I need to get a little cutout so I could just like post it on here. I just love the
Hmm.
crystals on it and I refuse to take them off.
They're really, really cute.
Thank you. But also, to our commenter, just to let you know, you don't have to force yourself to do anything you don't want. That's not what we're here for. If you want to just listen to us describe the book, then you can more than welcome to do that too, and it might inspire you to do that on your own as well. But it's up to you. We're not here to stress nobody out. That's what this whole thing. We're cozy, we're chill, we're doing our own thing regardless. We're just inviting you guys to join with us.
Yeah,
Now, let me
exactly.
see.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to help with that, but if anything book related, just keep letting us know. Okay. Stay blessed. And
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. What would you say is out of the books that we have read, and each book, do you have like a favorite, um, like a favorite part in each book?
Um, just like memorable moments
Yeah.
or um I feel like the dirtiest parts are the things I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I feel like one of the most memorable things for my first book, I think my favorite was the Peter Pan series. I just love Peter Pan in
Mm-hmm.
general, all that lore, and to have it like aged up and grown and sexy was so much fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just really loved the revel like when they revealed what happened to Tink and who Tink was
Yeah.
and in relation to Peter. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was really cool in the books. And
I
then
agree.
in that time I got drunk and rescued a demon or saved a demon. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like one of my favorite parts in that was when the dragon guy was like doing her hair for her.
Alan. Oh yeah.
Fallon, when he was like taking her braids
Oh.
down, that was such like a sweet and tender moment. I loved it so much. I just fell for him in that moment, and well, them
Oh.
as a couple,
Yeah.
I thought they were so
Exactly.
cute. But yeah, I loved that.
Okay.
There's a lot of spice in Queen Takes
Mm-hmm.
Knights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there is a scene where things get super spicy, and I
Wait.
forget who it was, which of the guys it was, but he wouldn't touch her until she like was very explicit about like, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
want this, and like the way they wrote consent in that book.
Oh, it was
It
good.
was so
Mm-hmm.
sexy. Oh my gosh.
It
It
was.
just made me like I would have been begging, like, oh
Yeah.
please, please, please.
That's a good
It was
one.
great. Yeah.
So my parts are gonna pretty in my opinion, I feel like this is where the sweetness comes out for me
Oh,
because I know like okay, so for the first one, the Tink situation was like amazing for Peter Pan. For the Never King, Peter Pan just being his sexy,
mm,
crazy self.
yes.
And Vane though, like he was the best with the twins when I forget which one said it, and he was like, he was playing with the ropes, and he's like, I could just tie her up right now, and I was like, you know what? Okay,
Yes.
they made him like cloud. They showed her the cloud berries and stuff like that. That was adorable. For that time, I got drunk and saved the demon. My favorite part actually is the first encounter that Fallon has with the family at the dinner table at the breakfast table.
Oh, that's cute.
And
Yes.
he's like, yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, you got drunk again, Sin. And he's like, no, it's not just that. Da, da, da. And he's just like, hey, everybody, it's me. I'm the demon she's talking about. By the way, you have to come with me and help me. And he's like,
Yes.
she's like, I ain't doing shit. And then the mom takes over. Is like, you gonna sit your ass down, and he listens. Everybody listens
Yes.
to Mama. And when the mom talks, calls the kids by numbers, he's like, child, stop messing with the boy child, stop messing with the
Middle
girl child.
child.
I was like, I love this. This is adorable. And that's like one of the relations. And the fact that she talks about cheese all the time, cheese and wine, makes me happy. I don't know,
Yes.
But she's like, I can go for some good cheese right now. I'm the cheese queen. Yes, yes, you are.
I'm the cheese queen. I remember like getting to that point and like they talked about well her name is well her friend is Brie, right?
Yeah, her friend is Brie.
And so like they talked about cheese so much. I remember one day I had like a slice of brie while I was
Uh-huh,
reading and I had my like
uh-huh.
little crackers and stuff and I
Oh,
was
so
like,
good.
okay, like I get the that why she
Mhm.
talks about cheese so
No, brie
much.
is so good. Like food talk, real quick. When I used to work next to a cheesemonger, they always had like sample around Christmas. They would
Oh,
do a baked brie, and it was in like a phyllo dough, but it was stuffed with pecans and like raspberry jam or something.
ooh.
The fact that I had to beat customers up, like I would take the whole thing and just hide it. I'm like, I don't give a crap. But that's delicious. So yes, brie is amazing. Cheese is amazing. But
Mm.
for Queen Takes Night, my favorite scene, I think it might be the same one. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's two parts. No, no, no. It's the same part where she's lying on the bed and she lets them do the thing together.
Mm.
And
Oh,
what your call was so nervous, but he was like, what if she doesn't accept mine and his love? And I'm just like, y'all been boning this whole time. You're fine. Just do it. But me, that's the, spicy jazz. I'm just like,
oh
just do it.
yes.
Stop. But again, it's about consent. It's about comfort. It's about all that stuff. But when she's like, yeah, no, no, do it slow. Do it while he does me. I'm like, yes, this is it. That's what I need. That book right there.
Yes.
I love that.
I feel like that was our spiciest book by far.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Schmut. We love it.
Filthy.
Love it.
It was so funny because I was like, I forgot that I
Mhm.
was sharing,
Mhm.
like me and my coworkers were like in a
Mhm.
reading challenge, and I was sharing like all of my reads
Mhm.
publicly, and so
Mhm.
like some of my Nymphs of Lore checkouts and like books were logged and everything.
Mhm.
And one time, my boss was like, "Oh, tell me, I saw that you are reading such and so.
Mhm.
Tell me what that's about." I'm like,
Mhm.
it's about
No, I can't tell
vampires.
you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
It's about vampires. It's spicy. Yeah, that's about it.
No, I think I was talking to my abuela about my. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna read a book." Oh, what is it about? And she's very Christian, so I'm just like, it's about romance, and it's a princess, and they found each other. It was so nice. But give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember
Yes,
what is going on. I think my camera went out, so I apologize.
that's okay. We can still hear you. Yeah, we can still hear you. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm just noticing like the cool little animations around like our frame. It's pretty cool. I'm like, ooh, this is fancy. Yeah, we are working with new tech right now, so we might have a few hiccups here and there, but I'm thinking it's gonna go well for us. And I hope you like the new setup. The pink and the purple is super cute. I'm enjoying it. But yes, we have some very spicy books that we read. And I enjoy it because I don't listen to a lot of podcasts that specifically focus on smut, smutty books and are like unapologetic about it. But I'm an adult and we all read fantasy, we all read romance. Well, not all of us, but many of us do. Um, in fact, like the romance section in my library is always hot. People are always checking out romance all day, every day. It's probably our definitely busiest area in the library. So, yeah. But fantasy, romantasy, I feel like is a newer mesh of its own. And thanks to like social media, we get to like talk about it a lot more than we typically do. So, it's really fun. And if you have any recommendations for this year, definitely let us know. Things that you want to read, that you're curious about. 2025 has so many cool titles that are getting ready to come out. I know, like, One of my favorite new artists for middle grade romantasy is Annalise Sabrana, and she wrote Laura the Wilds, and her new book Lore of the Tides is coming out soon. So maybe that could be something we pick up. I'm not sure, but I'm crossing my fingers that that might be a title you're interested in reading. It's a slow burn, so not the spiciest for sure. I probably, on a scale of like 1 to 5, with 1 being like not spicy and 5 being like the spiciest, I would say Lore of the Wilds is like a 2. It's not like a super spicy thing, but there is romance for sure. And maybe in Lore of the Tides, we might get a little more. I'm not sure. But the story in general is really cool. I love the protagonist, Lore. She's like, she's very smart. She's brave. She's charismatic. And yeah, cool. I went on a tangent about another book.
I love that. I love that for you. Thank you for taking care of business because I don't know what was going on. My computer was like, let's add a little spice. Let's do drama. She was doing fine. I
No,
mean,
I
but
was just letting, well, one, my ADHD brain was like, ooh, I like the animations on our
mhm,
on
I'm happy.
our profile. And so I was kind of watching that, and then I was like, look, we're starting a new year with new technology. So I just explained to everybody that we're
I
working
appreciate
out the kinks.
it. We are, and like I said, it's gonna be like this every so often. This new program, I love a lot of the features. I will say it's like building a website for certain things. So thank gosh that I know how to build websites because I was just like, oh, psh, do, 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 do. But then sometimes, technology. But it's
Which
an
I'm
honor.
so happy that you have those skills, because those are not my blessing. Those are not my things that I'm good at.
No, you're the inspiration, mamas. I got you. I was like, what is the aesthetic this year? What are we doing? We're doing calming this year. 2025, we're not stressing. We're not
We're not
giving,
stressing.
I don't care about nobody problems but our own. My people's and my own. That's it.
That's the truth.
That's the
So
truth.
this is definitely going to be the cozy book read hangout space.
Mhm.
So if some days we're just like, you know what, we're going to talk about cheese
We're
today.
going to talk about cheese
We're
and
going to
what
talk
book
about
I
cheese.
would read while I'm eating this cheese.
Yes.
Because that's the thing, guys. That is the thing. Like I said, especially with that time I got drunk and saved the demon. Yes. And was he a demon? He was not. Guys, watch it. Watch it. There's a
Yes.
reason. And there's more. There's more. There's a lot of them. First of all, the little crew.
Felix and Bree.
Oh, I love that. Oh my god, I need to read that book again. I think I'm gonna have to read it, especially the voice. Oh, okay. Side note, again, I'm tangenting here. My favorite things about you because I'm more of an audiobook person. I can read a book. I know how to read the book. The books are great. I just don't have the mental capacity sometimes. So audiobooks are king.
Yes.
However, when the voices match perfectly, delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. There's this book. The first book was I think it was Queen of Chaos. No, it wasn't Queen of Chaos. It was Flames of Chaos. And I was trying to push for
Oh.
that book a lot. I was trying to push for that book a lot last year, but I was very recognizable in the fact that there's a lot of trauma in there. It's I love and hate that book. I love
Mm.
it because it's actually really good. It gets convoluted at the end, like toward like all the books that are out now. But in the series, the shit just don't make sense. I'm just like that. I was like, I was there for the first book, and that's not what happened. But okay.
Uh,
Uh, but there's a lot of toxicities. But the main male voice,
mm.
when he growls, because he has to growl and purr in this book, ma'am. Oh,
Okay, so is growling and purring like your, if you were the
yeah,
MC, like is that what you
mhm,
need?
yes, I need it. I need
See,
it.
I think that's one of those things that we're alike in. I want the
Hmm.
feral, wild, like
Yeah,
animalistic man. You know, I need that, or woman, because
yeah.
put it on me, girl. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here
Hey,
for
they say
it.
that the richest creatures are not the male creatures; it's the females of the packs. Of a lot of the animal kingdoms, it's the women. Why do you think they're the hunters? Why do you think they're the ones that do all that? Because they don't give a fuck. They gonna get what they want, and they deserve it because they're that badass bitches. We respect that. So
Yes.
yes, growl. I love when they growl. I love when they get territorial. I love banter, bitchy banter between both. I love it. Just like, well, that's why your shirt's fucking stupid. And I'm like, well, your face is stupid. And I'm like, just fuck already. Just
Yes.
stop with this
Let's
bullshit.
do it.
But yeah, growling, purring, like when they do it. But then unfortunately, which my sister at the time made me aware of, I was an asshole. I was upset with the next book. I was like, this isn't the real guy. Like, this isn't the same guy. Who the fuck is this? He hurts my ears. And if you know, you know, like the tones in certain voices are just doesn't match.
Yeah.
And not that he didn't do a great job, he did an amazing job. I forgot the actor's name, but the original actor passed away. And I was so
Mm.
upset. I didn't know that. And I was so pissed. I was like, where is he at right now? Because he needs to get back on these books. And then my sister was like, girl, you know he died, right? I was like, what? That's so
No.
sad. R.I.P. R.I.P. But
Mm.
that happens. Like I said, that's why voice acting is so important too, or voiceover work. Like, yeah, we love anime, we love magnakas and manga with voiceover work, or the what is that, webtoons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love me some voiceover. I'm in a few groups. I ain't gonna lie. I love doing me some voiceover work there just for fun, RP and stuff. But
Yeah.
um, it really elevates the story. I think the worst though is like when you don't like their voices and it just don't sell. I remember my sister telling me, she's like, I have returned audiobooks because of that. I don't play games. She's like, I returned. I was like, I don't like their voices. Take them back. Because then I can imagine them in my own way, you
I
know, especially.
recently, yeah, I recently stopped a audiobook because the narrator and I were just not agreeing at
Yeah,
all. So, yeah, I understand.
yeah, no, thank you. I
Yeah.
think, what was the other thing I was about to say about, uh, damn, I forgot what I was going to say, but pretty much voice acting is important. You can also imagine yourself, oh, yeah, when we need more diversity in a lot of these voices, because I'm not gonna lie, like that's one of the reasons why I also love that time I got drunk, because it's a black woman narrating the whole thing because the main character is a black woman. Okay,
With a southern accent.
with a southern accent. She is delicious. And I don't mean that sexually. She is bubbly. We love her attitude. Like, yeah, she a little sassy for no reason sometimes, but I'm like, girl, just accept his love. And she's like, no, that's an alligator or crocodile, whatever it was. Oh, whatever. I was like, bitch, love
Yeah.
him. He wants to love you.
Yes, I
He's
love
like, I
it.
thought we were in love this whole time. No, no, bitch. You never said it. But
Mm-mm.
anyway, what was the other? I'm trying to think. Besides that, oh, the other book I was reading over the summer, or the little bit of a break, was The Good Girl's Guide to Dominance,
Oh,
or
let me
BDSM, something like
listen
that.
to
I probably
that.
seen that one. I think I shared it with you. I would say so. Allotting selling points. It is the two main characters is a black female character and a Italian male character. Uh,
Mm.
sexy, sexy. But what sold the book for me is the fact that it's based in Philadelphia.
I was gonna say that sounds very Philadelphia.
Yes. Very no, honestly, that was the only thing I was just like, because I grew up in an Italian neighborhood as well. I grew up like in
Yeah.
two different areas, so like I was nitpicking. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, first of all, they wouldn't say it like that because blah, 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 and it's not on a Sunday and blah blah blah. But whatever. I blame my Italian stepdad because I grew up with them. But it's one of those situations like I really do I enjoyed the book because it did, how like most, it wasn't a fantasy book. It's not fictional, but it's not a fantasy book, but it is about how the main character, she's just trying to find love in her own lifestyle, and her friends are just like, just find a guy who likes do the kinky stuff, and she's like, no, it's not just doing that. Like, I shouldn't have to explain it. And like, you feel bad for her sometimes because also the hardest part about it, she's in Philadelphia. we're, like we're not vanilla here, but everybody's secret as hell. So I
Yeah.
felt for her. And then also the of course, since she's a black woman, race plays into it. We're not doing that. And she's like, I ain't doing that shit. But also my favorite part is like it's something I do personally in the lifestyle where she went in opening of the book, she goes to a dom's house, apartment or whatever. And mind you, he's supposed to be a dom. And when you think about doms, everybody, we think about somebody who's in control, all that shit. She goes to his house and she looks around and she sees, and mind you, not snooping. She's in the middle of the room and she sees the dishes aren't washed. There's clothes in the fucking like, and no hamper. There's just like thrown on on the thing. I'm not boning nobody like that. And mind you, I'm a messy person. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna invite somebody to my house when it's like that. Okay. So that
Yeah.
means you have no control. What and he doesn't respect her boundaries and then tries to force the situation. And she's like, no, you're not a dom, you little bitch. And she, not beats him up, but she's just like, you better get the fuck off me.
Yeah.
But I love it. I recommend everybody to read this book. If you're into the kinky stuff, we love women in power. We and not just like again, not a fan of this is everyday. She has an everyday type job. She has all that type shit. She's that bitch. And the Italian part of it is adorable.
I
Adorable.
I really oh, I probably need to talk to you sidebar,
We're gonna
but
talk about it. Ma'am, the fact that
I need to
he's
read
like a
this
puppy
book is
dog.
what I need
Man,
to read this
he's a
book.
puppy dog. He's like very like rah, 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 like a pit bull, like rah, rah, rah. Nobody tell me what to do. I'm the man. I'm the boss. I'm the da 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 da. And she's just
Yeah.
like, but couldn't you just not like stop worshiping me for 2 seconds?
Oh
Can
my
we
God.
can we talk about that? I was like, get him.
Yes, yes, we need to talk because
We're gonna
like
talk about it. I
as
can
a
talk about this.
black woman in like kink
Uh huh.
spaces, it can
Hmm.
be dicey, you know.
Oh yeah.
It can be dicey. And like I'm a rope top and not a
Yep.
bottom. So
Mhm.
and my bottom is Irish, you know.
Ooh,
So
I love
yes,
that.
there are like interesting cultural dynamics. There crazy questions that get
Mhm.
asked in public, and it's just like whoa. But yes, I need to read this book. That's what it sounds
You
like.
should. I felt so bad for everybody who was in my like vicinity every time I was reading a chapter because I was like screenshot it, like highlight a note of it. I'm like, see, this is it. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. This is what she needs. This makes sense. Blah 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 blah. And then my people were like, Jazz, we know. We'll read the book. Stop. Stop. And I was like, no, you don't understand. This makes sense. This is perfect. And I think I even like sent a message to the author and I was just like, hey, like I just want to say
Oh
thank you. I was like, you know me, like I'm really cool with books, whatever the hell. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way. I don't care about famous people. I don't care about none of that. I respect them, of course, but like I
yeah.
don't got time. I got other shit I gotta do. But I took my time out and I was like, look, as somebody who is into the kink education and is in the lifestyle for over 20 years professionally, etc., and lifestyle, not to mention also part of the book community, to find something that has both my loves that I could talk about. Because I think I told you before, I was like, I told Ms. D, I was like, no, we're going to have sweet jazz on. We're going to be on, we're going to talk about this book and, we're going to talk about kink and how that relates to both sides because I thought it was brilliant. I thought it
Yeah.
was brilliant.
I would
So yeah,
love to have that conversation for sure,
yeah.
and read this book. And speaking of like reaching out to authors and things like that, My Summer Girl, like we said, is by a person of color.
Mhm.
And it is so important that if you do read this book, please, please, please leave a review on whatever platform that you write reviews. It could be Goodreads,
Mhm.
whichever that you're
Mhm.
using right now. But this book hasn't had a whole lot of reviews just yet. It's
Yeah.
growing as people share and read it. I think it came out last spring, I want to
Yes.
say. Yeah, I think it came out last spring, so it's still fairly new. So it's a perfect opportunity to give that feedback back to the author because they really do appreciate hearing
Mhm.
from readers and getting, a little bit of perspective of like things that we enjoy, things that we might not have vibed with, because it's a process for them. They're just everyday people like us too. and they're writing and doing what they love, and they want to give us stories that are compelling and that touch us. So definitely read along with us, but also leave a review for all of our authors that we have read. So
It
yes.
encourages them. It encourages them because guess what? One thing I realized, and this is from Book Talk, shout out to Book Talk, RIP.
Oh,
I'm going to say RIP this whole time. We're moving to Red Note and other things, so let's
we're
do
on
it.
our
But
last couple of days of freedom, you
I know
know.
everybody's getting crazy on there, but we'll talk about that. One thing I noticed that my saddened but also favorite thing to see was like especially authors, potential authors, inspiring authors that are black and brown, especially. Not saying that everybody else doesn't also, have a space or like doesn't have a voice, but we don't. I'm sorry, we don't.
We don't.
We don't. The fact that I've heard stories or like listened to their stories of these black authors and indigenous, Hispanic, Latino, like whatever, and they'll be like, we'll go to publishers and like nobody wants to read this, nobody wants to see this, nobody wants to da da da. So and they still do it. They still go
Hmm.
out and they spend their money and their energy and pour out their hearts, and then can you imagine that nobody say anything about your book?
I have a book right here that is a prime example of that being the absolute truth. Social
Mhm.
media, I feel, played a huge part in making this physical print possible. This is The Poisons We Drink by Brittany Baptiste. She's a local author here in Jacksonville, Florida, an
Okay.
educator. But self-published for the longest, pushed her book, push. She did all the marketing that she could as a teacher. You know, teachers don't get paid anywhere in America, so you already
Hey, our
know
teachers.
exactly. Paying for her own editors. Edits are
Mhm.
not cheap.
They're not.
Paying for her own, publishing. Publishing is not cheap. And then social media helped push the traction and the want for this book. And eventually, a publisher did pick up this one. And even that process was not the
But they're
best
going to want you to
because
change things. They're going to want to be more palatable for everyone when we shouldn't have to shave off or
that and
skim
the
down who
fact
we
that
are.
I feel like the only reason why and I wouldn't say the only reason, I will say, I feel like they felt they were going to get this gold star
Hmm.
for picking up, yeah, oh, TikTok fans, and people think this is important, so we think it's important now. But she wasn't given the same respect that other traditionally published authors, which are usually white, were given. She did not get the same respect with the touring of her book, the marketing of her book, things like that. And I'm happy that we have social media the way that we do, at
Hmm.
least literally today, so that
Oh
we
yeah.
can talk about these books. And I think that's what's important given our platform, because we haven't really read wildly popular books.
Oh yeah. No.
They're very niche and
Hmm.
very good, but like unless you're having conversations about it, they're kind of under the radar a little bit. I think with the exception of like Nikki St. Clair, I feel
Yeah.
like she's super popular right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the others, they're pretty, like word of mouth kind of things.
Yeah. But I think even with those, like with a lot of the books that we try to forefront, again, we try to make sure that they're black, brown friendly, that they're positive, as far as like what we are, and those type of authors as well, and those characters. The only book I think we didn't have that we have not done that with was The Never King, just because it was gaining traction at that point when we started, and people
Yeah.
were loving it. And like also, it's fantasy. Like who doesn't love Peter Pan and that whole story, regardless
Yeah.
if you know the traditional one or the new one, blah blah blah. So I think just like Scott, Sweet Jazz was saying, like we have to do a little better as a community to make sure that we're taking care of our own, to put that out, to let them know that they're loved, to let them know that we appreciate them, even if. You hate the book. I don't give a shit. At least write a note about it and say, hey, this, but be constructive, right? Don't just say, this book is trash.
Yeah.
Tell me why it's trash. Maybe it's something that maybe there was an error somewhere she didn't catch. Maybe it was something, or not just she, any of them, anybody, they didn't catch it, whatever the case. Let's figure it out together. Let's start building where we need to, because guess what? There's a lot of resources for, again, non-black and brown authors and anybody in creative, just any of us in general. We have to start being more powerful about our voice, right? If we could do this in code of red note type situation because we're mad about TikTok, we can fucking make sure that our artists are getting better treatment. Call that shit out publicly. Call that shit
And
out. I'm tired of that. This year I'm a mess. I'm letting you know now. This year I am a mess. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm
talk
letting
about
everybody
it.
know. Let me know. And for any author, creative person, anybody who's too afraid or shy that they're going to get backlash, let me know and I'll yell it for you. I got
Mm-hmm.
you. Because I'll yell
And
at anybody. Ask about me. I don't care. You don't even got
she
to
said,
pay me.
ask
Just give me
about
the
me.
title. Ask about me. I'm Chihuahua for a reason. You're going to hear my voice yap, yap, yap all the time.
The Philly Fae do not play. I know that.
Philly Day do not play. I can't wait for Black Friday this year, though. I don't know what our theme is for us yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, I can't wait. But I
Yeah.
will say this, like, and it's just not piggybacking, but like tag teaming on what you said about
Mhm.
if you're gonna comment something negative, make it constructive. Because,
Mhm.
like you said, this is their baby. And
Mhm.
when you're writing from your own perspective, your own experience, your own education, your own everything, that's your gift and your talent and your vantage point. Like, but once it's out there for the public, it doesn't belong to just you anymore. It belongs to everybody. And so
Mhm.
it's impossible for one author to understand the perspectives of everybody who reads that book. So, your voice is very powerful and meaningful when you do give constructive and helpful and kind feedback to these authors. So we want you to be as honest as you can be, but again, be mindful of the way that you deliver that message to every artist because everyone doesn't know what you know, and everybody doesn't feel or see things the way that you do. So definitely be authentic, but kind and constructive.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. We are here for taking care of each other, to help each other grow, to have inclusivity, to feel seen, to feel heard, to be able to relate to the characters. Because if you watch our show at any point, I am not a girl named Winnie who is 100 pounds soaking wet with big boobies and I don't know what she got. I don't know. Looking like a nothing, to be honest, the way they described her. Not disrespecting the character. I'm just saying, like, I can't relate to that. But the fact that I can relate more to the family and the main character in that time I got drunk and saved the demon was such a beautiful moment for us. And I think that's something that me and Jazz were like really bonding over was the fact of you can hear your mom say that shit. You can hear like your brother, your sister, your siblings, whatever, fighting with you the way they were, stealing each other's breakfast, being
Yes.
sassy about shit. Like that's something I enjoy, and I can't get that same thing from what I'm calling like a Hallmark moment. You know what I mean? Like even if it's a spicy situation, kinky or whatever the hell, I can't relate to white characters unless I'm reading the books and I totally blank out the fact that they're white. Like it always pisses me off when I'm reading a book and it's like her her fucking alabaster skin with fucking crystals and I'm like, bitch. I don't know who is that. Her white oak flesh and her tawny blonde. I don't know who the fuck that is. Who is that? It's not me. That's not me. So I have to change in my own self. And the fact I think that kills me too. I think when we had the fan art for the Lost Boys series and we saw Vane and all of them, I was like, ew,
We were like, that is not him. I do
that's
not
not him.
know
I don't know who
him.
that is. It's not my baby.
Is Vane in the room? Like with
And yeah, I was
us?
like, so for if you're an artist and you want to help us out a little bit, I'm just saying maybe we should start making, these characters, black and brown. Can we do that, please? If we can do that for anime, can we do this for these fucking book characters? Because I'm sorry, I'm not. I can't relate to these characters, and especially Winnie. They did her wrong. I don't care. Like she don't look like she looks like Bella Swan.
Okay, I was just thinking that where you're just so unremarkable but so
Yeah,
tantalizing and irresistible at the same
yeah.
time.
She's like, all I do is suck dick, and that's how I get my way. And I'm like, Mama, you've been through so much trauma. Can you just let that sink in and let somebody, like, even though this is all carnal, whatever, like they're really trying to be respectful to you this whole time. They technically are. They're assholes, yes. Did what you call kill a man in front of you? Yes, he did. But he didn't disrespect you.
Yeah, yeah.
Just saying. I don't know.
He put
But
rules in place to protect you.
yeah, exactly. Stay in the room. You didn't stay in the room. I can't be held accountable. You fucked up. Just saying. The Lost Boys ain't. They weren't Lost Boys. Okay, they didn't know what the fuck is going on. They all
Yes.
knew. Vane was waiting for that shit. Vane was waiting for that bitch to go because he wanted her. He's like, Mom, Papa gonna get her.
He had the Birdman hands.
He was literally behind the tree when she released. Like, yeah. He was behind his tomb. He was behind Pete's tomb. Was like, Peter, let me tell you what she's doing. She's outside. Did you see that shit? You see
Did
she
you
outside?
see her?
Did you see her? Did you see her? We should punish her right now. He's like, yo, chill the fuck out. Let me just rip this man's heart out right quick. What? And she's like, I can't believe that happened. I could.
I could not.
Could.
Well, I saw
Yeah.
it coming, but also it was still very like, damn.
Sexy. I was like, okay, yeah. So your place or my place? I don't have a place, so all of it's your place, baby.
All up in that treehouse. Every
Yeah.
branch. Every
Yeah.
branch.
Every branch. But she finally claims them all and pretty much is like, yeah, you're all my boyfriends now. And they're just like, yeah, I like this. I was like, this is what we need. Equality in relationships, everybody good. But then they start getting jealous of each other, which I thought was adorable.
I think it's funny that we had two books where the girl was just like, I want all of you and I'm gonna get all of you.
Yeah, I love it. All of it. Actually, I want to say technically three because my summer girl's technically going to be about that.
There we
So,
go.
that's something before we leave today, guys, because we are ending the show soon.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go over the synopsis of the book. So, give me 1 second.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
don't know if I have. So, I'm just going to read a synopsis because I did not prepare this. So, I apologize in advance. But
It's
her name
okay.
is Luce. She has spent her entire life avoiding love, happiness, and all the things that make her feel alive. Weren't on the table. All that changes when she meets fate, and they come in the form of an ancient Seraphim, a himbo Okuran, and a summer queen. Okay. Three mates. So she has to either choose between the two or three, excuse me. So it says three mates to change the course of her life forever if she lets them. Let's see, one who convinces her to accept fate, another who forces her to fight for her happiness, and finally, the one who reminds her what sacrifice looks like. All three have her best interests at heart. Will she allow them to show her what love's really like, or will she fight them at every turn? So
Mm.
let's see. Let's see. I don't know. I hope she gets all of them. Just take
I
them
hope
all.
she does.
She deserves it.
Mm.
Deserves it.
Yes. I
I think
think
everybody.
that's my ultimate fantasy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very poly, so like I just want a whole little reverse harem of all my favorite people to love.
Working on it. I'm working on it. The screenings have been crazy because my roommate actually he wants to buy a farm, and I told him, and he already told. He's like, "Don't worry, we're gonna have a little cottage for you in the back somewhere." I was like, "Good," because Mama needs her cows and chickens, and that's what I want. So I want cows and chickens. And then I explained to my partners, I was like, "No, no, no, no." They thought they were all gonna live in the same house. It's like, no, you have an option either we live in a big house and you guys have your own separate wings because we don't have to share the same bed every day. Everybody do their own thing, or everybody gets their own mini house behind my house. So everybody has their own little space. You could also bring people over. I don't gotta deal with nothing, and I'm just in my little
Okay.
house. I
I'm
love it.
I'm gonna apply to be part of the farm and
Yeah,
I'm gonna apply for my own mini house.
I
Just so
love
you
it.
know, I'll bring the guard dog for all the livestock. You
I
know,
love that.
so
Teamwork.
yeah, I
Teamwork.
got a role. I got an assignment. You know, I'm independent.
Yep. The goal is just to bring as many partners, as many partners to help us. Because as much as I love what I'm saying, I just want to also cook and clean. You guys can do all the heavy lifting. I'm just a girl, okay? I'm just a
Just
girl.
a
I'm just a
girl.
girl. Like I know I could do all these things, but I don't wanna. I
That's
say that
okay.
all the time. I'm like, oh, that sounds like something I don't do.
That's okay. I'll
Oh,
pull. Oh,
I love that. How is that happening? You know
I
what?
don't.
That's fate. That's fate right there.
That's
That's fate
fate.
happening.
It's saying that you're on the right track. Your
It is.
dreams. Don't let
That's
your
it.
dreams just be dreams. Let it
Oh no, no,
happen.
we're having it. I'm gonna tell all y'all where I'm at. And only y'all, only certain people are gonna get the invite. Y'all shut up, stop if you want to. That's it. Because we're all gonna live in a farm. We're gonna help each other out. We do a little thing, and we're gonna fucking gate that shit up. Because I'm not having no fucking situations happen. Because I'm not gonna have it.
Mm-mm. No, we got it.
I don't know. We know. I love it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's it. So this was our first show for the new year. Yay us!
Yes.
So moving forward, everybody, every Friday at 7:30. Every other week is going to be a live show. Everything else is going to be a replay. Um, Feel free to catch us on any of our social media accounts. There's also actually, let me get you guys into something as well. Actually, I don't think I have it here right now, but I'll show it in a minute. It is a what's the word I'm looking for? We have a QR code. We have a QR code now. I'm going to show it just for a brief second before we leave, and then I'm going to put the cut intro in. But you could also scan it. It goes directly to all of our social media accounts. It goes to our link tree. So you can find all of our episodes, how to donate to us. We are now accepting donations to help this grow, not only just for us, because it's not us just taking money. This is to help pay for the equipment, which is going to be this program that we're using. Um, Not only that, for any events, anything we maybe want to help sponsor authors or anything that we want to do, we'll always let you guys know what we're going to be doing with the money. This is not a hush situation. This is a community. So that's pretty much it. So have any questions, concerns, hit us up. Where can I find you, Miss Sweet Jazz?
Yes. They can find me on Facebook as Jasmine LaFleur or on Instagram as Halcyon and Crow or by Fede Official. Oh, excuse me, my voice went out for a second. By Fede Official. Um, or Fabies and Friends on Instagram as well. So you can catch me there. Fabies and Friends is another podcast I have with a friend where we have candid conversations with magical people. And one of our episodes, episode one, is with one of the authors and writers for Castlevania Nocturne, which is getting ready to have their second season. So if you want to know about some kind of first season lore and how some of those
Mhm.
episodes are written, you could definitely go on that episode and check it out. And then the second one is actually with the author Annalise Sabrana, the author of Lore of the Wild. So a little bit more bookish conversations as well. So check it out. Um, you can stream Phoebe's and Friends on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, almost everywhere that you listen to a
I
podcast.
love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like it's the same thing with us. We're trying to focus all of our energy going into our Facebook page as well as our YouTube page. I know I'm also streaming on Twitch on my personal account, but please know that funnel everything Nymphs of Lore to our YouTube or any of our other base accounts. We're trying to grow. We know that we get so much traction with you guys, a lot of hits, but we don't know who you are. We want to get to know you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, you can find me on all social medias as Miss Giselle for anything, excuse me, not spicy. Very basic Miss Giselle on every account. However, everything spicy is going to be Obey Miss J, and that's going to be for sexually speaking as well, because you're going to see me a lot on that as well. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any book recommendations or have any questions about what we were talking about or how you can get involved as far as supporting authors or anybody in the community, let us know. We can see how we can help out with that as well. But I think that's it for now. Before we leave, I'm gonna just show our screen where it has our QR code, so you guys can scan it if you wish, and then we're gonna go straight into the outro. Is there anything you want to end with?
Nope. Thanks for
All right.
coming.
Bye,
And I
guys.
hope you'll read with us soon.
Bye. See you next Friday.
Yep.
Yep, bye.